You can see what people think in the fact there's an opinion poll which shows Reform are now within 1 point of Labour because they don't trust this government. They don't think they're doing a good job. They are spooked by their lack of confidence. They've only been in power 6 months, not even 7 months, and things are going horribly wrong.
In the past week, 3 polls have come out showing Reform UK in second place, ahead of the Conservative Party, and the polling average puts them neck and neck with the Conservative Party in the race for number 10. Now, of course, the election's a long way off, but this has prompted many people to speculate that Reform UK could even win the next election, putting Nigel Farage in number 10 Downing Street. This isn't supposed to happen because our electoral system, first past the post, is designed to create a two-party system in which the Labour Party and the Conservative Party vie for power. The way this works is that the two major parties have support that is concentrated in specific seats. Whereas Labour do well in urban areas and in the former industrial heartlands of Britain, the Conservatives do well in rural areas. This allows their vote to work efficiently so that it's possible to win an election even by a landslide without coming close to winning a majority of the votes cast. By contrast, smaller parties struggle to break through under first past the post because they can win a lot of votes across the country, but doing reasonably well in lots of places doesn't win you a lot of seats. So whenever conversations have been had about smaller parties in the past, I have urged caution because the system is literally designed to lock them out of power. Well, that is until the system starts to work in the opposite direction to how it's supposed to. Because another thing about first past the post is the winning party tends to receive a winner's bonus, allowing them to win far more seats as a percentage than they manage to win in terms of the percentage of the vote. This means that if Reform can overtake the two main parties, the system will start to benefit them and they could win the most seats or even a majority in Parliament. The reason this is possible now is that both of the two main parties are struggling in the polls, partly because of a justified apathy a lot of people feel in relation to mainstream politics, and partly because both parties have made political errors that have damaged them in the eyes of the public. We live in a democracy that is designed to produce the same outcome at every election. Either the red team or the blue team win. But we also live in an era where the dominance of a particular political and economic analysis has constrained both major parties from taking the bold and necessary action to fundamentally transform the structure of our society so that it benefits most ordinary people. This is because our politics has been dominated by neoliberalism since the 1980s, an economic and political ideology that has failed since the financial crisis, but which has survived as a zombie ideology haunting our politics with dead dogma and failed prescriptions. This leads both parties to talk a lot about difficult choices and unpopular decisions, when what they really mean is that they are avoiding making decisions that would fundamentally transform our society, because this would mean confronting powerful vested interests in our society and dismantling structures that exist to ensure that wealth continues to trickle up to those who already have it. And it is in this context that parties like Reform are set to benefit, not by confronting powerful vested interests, but by tricking people into thinking that they are, in order to win power, by peddling easy answers which are saleable to the public without being a threat to the wealth and power of elites. The antidote to this so-called populism on the right is for the Labour Party to adopt a genuine populism of the left, rooted in communities, workplaces and in ordinary democratic struggles. It was this populist message that brought Corbyn to the leadership of the Labour Party, and it is how he led Labour to its largest vote share since 2001 in the 2017 election. Unfortunately, the Labour Party has been captured by its most ideological faction, who care about keeping the left out of power more than almost anything else. In these circumstances, one might look to the Green Party or to a new party on the left to rescue us from this situation, but I feel no hope here. The Green Party's appeal is too niche to build the kind of mass movement needed to challenge the far right, and they have neither the time nor the resources to do it. The trade union movement is another potential source of strength for the left, but this movement is divided, with far too much of it in hock to the current leadership of the Labour Party as it leads the country ever closer to the political abyss. Sorry I can't end on a cheery note. Unfortunately, if you look back through my reflections on this theme in other videos, my analysis is galvanised by having been right, particularly about how poor Starmer would be in office and how quickly his project would implode. Although even I didn't expect it to implode so quickly. A truss-light collapse of a deck of cards that was never quite built in the first place. And so, in conclusion, can Nigel Farage become Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Well, I remain pretty pessimistic on that front, but I'm hopeful that something, God knows what, will stop it from happening. Well, anyway, that's all for now. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.